Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alexander City, Alabama, the home of the Central Alabama Trojans, junior college from Division I in Region 22, where the Pioneers of Volunteer State Community College up in Gallatin, Tennessee, about 4.5 hours away, will start their season along with the Trojans here in a beautiful sunny day, mid-50s here in Central Alabama. We are getting our broadcast ready, making sure that everything's working. What you got? Oh, he's not. I heard it on mine, so you can stand down. So we got volume coming. We've got video. We got players ready to play. We even have some folks in the stands. And a crack squad up here in the press box for Central Alabama. This is Tim Reese along for year number 2 with the Pioneers. This year, I get to start the season on the broadcast. Big shout out and thank you to head coach Jim McGuire of the Pioneers, along with athletic director Bobby Hudson, for allowing me to broadcast games, go on the road with the team, treating me as part of the squad. We are looking forward to a great 2023 season. Pioneers looking to improve on their record of 27-21 from a year ago. CACC, Central Alabama Community College, had a 24-31 record, 12-20 in the conference. Head coached by Larry Thomas, assistant coach Chad Slayton. Larry Thomas in his 7th year here at Central Alabama. Got some new jersey numbers for a few of the players this year. Let me go ahead and give you the starting lineup first for the visiting Pioneers. In center field, leading off, Jake Burris. Batting second, playing shortstop, Ethan Huddleston. Batting third, in right field, Jace Mizell. Landon Godsey will be the cleanup hitter. He will play first base. Carter Vrabel down at third, and he will play third base, batting in the 5-hole. Caleb Hawkins behind the plate, batting sixth. Hunter Searcy out in left field, and he will bat seventh. Jacob Messer with his new number 5 will be the designated hitter. Matt Hall at second base, batting ninth. And third-year player Cade McKee out of Scott County, Kentucky, Georgetown, Kentucky, will be on the mound for his first real start in a college uniform. 5'11", 195-pound left-hander, health, sports medicine, and physical education major. The son of Jim McKee, the son of Sherry Beth Mullenix, and the younger brother to Clay and Colby. Grandparents both sets in Cynthiana, Kentucky. Cade was on the mound for 9 appearances in 2022, all one-inning relief stints. Gave up 9 hits, 3 runs, 13 strikeouts in those 9 innings. And he is one excited young man to get the start in Game 1, scheduled for 52 games for the year. The Pioneers had a 7th place finish in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association a year ago, and lost in one of the play-in games up at Chattanooga State. Ended the season on Mother's Day 1 year ago. This year the Pioneers will be hosting the conference tournament, and they will hope to have a deep run in the TCCAA conference. Here's a starting lineup for the Trojans of Central Alabama. Leading off, playing center field, Arwin Burgos. Batting second, playing second, Kelvin Ayala. Batting third, playing first base, Bryce Knox. The pitcher and the DH, batting in the cleanup spot, Bryce Callaway. Luke Hasty will catch and bat fifth. Zion Morris playing right field, batting sixth. Hafet Rosado Playing shortstop, batting 7th, Zach Johnson in left field, and he will be the 8-hole hitter. And batting 9th, Ethan Hamilton. You see Coach McGuire and Coach Thomas out meeting with the umpires. Today's umpires behind the plate, Connor McKenzie and Daniel Doc Glidewell, will be on the bases for today's game. Wind is not a major factor probably today. We do have a little bit of a wind blowing in. Dimensions here at the ballpark, 335 down the lines, 377 in the alleys, and 396 to center field. Got some folks that are lined up over here on the berm over on the left field line. Spreading a blanket out. Must be bring your dog to the park day. Got a road going right by here. The foul balls probably get pretty close to some windshields. I don't know. We'll find out if their PA and DJ guy has a glass breaking sound if we get foul balls. I don't know. Do you have a foul ball sponsor here? Do you guys got AAA glass foul ball sponsors or no? We're going to run through a bunch of our sponsors. We have had some major folks step up for the Pioneers program. Of course, Framework Athletics, where the team trains when the weather is not good enough to get out on the field, thanks to Ryan McDuffie and Zach Duke, owners of Framework Athletics, up at 104B Jessica Lauren Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. We also want to thank Summit Concrete, who did the bullpen work a couple of falls ago, owned by Chuck Akers, former player at MTSU for head coach Jim McGuire. And some new sponsors that we have this year as we have remodeled our press box, MGM Industries, made some custom windows and replaced those for us, as you will find out next Friday in our first home game. If you were with us last Saturday in our scrimmage against Campbellsville, then you saw the nice clear images coming through those windows. So thank you to Joe Gaskins and his team, son-in-law Patrick Stewart, who instrumental in getting those windows installed. Also thank you to Kerry Gilbert over at Right Rug Flooring for the carpeting inside the press box. And Dudak Communications, Craig Senard and his team that are getting some signage that will go in the press box and the locker room. They are getting that ready right now. So thank you to also to Line to Line, who put some padding and screens, and also another one of the companies affiliated with Line to Line did the dirt work there at Pioneer Field. We are getting ready for action as the Trojans take the field. Starting lineup is being delivered, and we will have the national anthem here shortly. It is great to be back at the ballpark, and thank you all for joining us. We will turn the music down so we don't get kicked off of YouTube or Twitter. We'll be right back. We are ready to play ball after that fantastic rendition. Not sure who sang it, but it was right up there with Whitney Houston. Fantastic rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. We welcome anyone from the Central Alabama side as well that they're not watching their Game Changer broadcast. They have a video going along with the Game Changer stream, I guess, is what I understand. I've never watched a game on Game Changer before. I have watched it just with a box score, but CACC uses the Game Changer and his coach's cell phone up here operating, so in case they wanted to catch it on YouTube, the Vol State Sports Network is where some of you are watching. Got about 18 of you watching there so far, and also we are streaming on the Vol State Twitter account. Bryce Calloway getting in warm-up tosses. Young man from Houston, Texas. Transfer from, I think they said, the University of Louisiana. He's a sophomore, Second Baptist High School, I'm assuming. I know there's a Second Baptist Church in Houston, but don't know Houston well enough to know the high schools. Indicates he's an infielder, but he's getting the ball for the game one start for the Trojans of Central Alabama. Home plate umpire Connor McKenzie says 2 more pitches and we'll be ready to get this game underway. Jake Burris, third-year sophomore out of Grove City, Ohio, will be the first batter for the Pioneers. The number 2 hole hitter a year ago. And we are at 54 degrees here in Alexander City, Alabama. Burris steps into the box. Callaway from the stretch will peer in for his sign. We are underway at 1:04 p.m. Central Time with ball 1.
First pitch, 1:03 p.m.
Pitch number 2, low and away. Got a little hum here. I'm not sure if you're hearing it at home. I'm trying to figure out what the problem might be. But 2 balls, no strikes to Burris. And the count goes 3 balls, no strikes. Jake Burris, starting left fielder a year ago, has moved over to center field. Hello to Mom Sherry, boyfriend Dave. He will look at a 3-0 pitch right on the outside corner, called strike. Jake Burris's dad, Scott Burris, might be checking out along with the brother Noah. There's a swing and a miss. Callaway has fought his way back from a 3-0 count, staying away from Jake Burris. Jake has both sets of grandparents also in the Grove City, Ohio area, just outside of Columbus. So hello to the whole Burris clan, and he will reach first base on a leadoff walk. And that will bring to the plate Ethan Huddleston, local boy in Gallatin High School, third-year player, as was Burris, but only played in 12 games last year and ended up getting a medical red shirt. His mom, stepdad, and brother are here in attendance. Takes a whack at the first pitch and hits one out to right field. And that will be right at Zion Morris for the first out here in the top of the first inning.
Fielder from Metropolis, Illinois, number 34.
Right field area is a quagmire out there, I understand. So you hit a ball to the left or right of the right fielder, probably got a shot of it getting down. Jace Mizell steps to the plate with one on and one out. Throw over to first base. Burris back in time. Jace Mizell back for his second year with the Pioneers after transferring in from Wabash Valley. 6'1", 220-pound redshirt sophomore from Metropolis, Illinois, and has to duck his head out of the way of that off-speed pitch. Sailed right over the top of the helmet. Mizell, the son of Sean and Jamie Mizell, brother to Aiden. Asked him if his grandparents were going to be here in attendance, and he said, not too long of a trip, but the Mizells and the Rices have been here on many a road trip in 2022. Look forward to seeing them at the ballpark. Everybody's from Metropolis, Illinois. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Pioneers right fielder Landon Godsey on deck. Callaway comes stretch. Burris leading off. Does not go. Mizell can't stay off of that high fastball, and he's down to count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wouldn't expect Burris to be running on this pitch. Four of 5 in stolen bases a year ago. There's another breaking pitch that slips out of Callaway's hand and goes high and over Mizell's head. So he's seen 2 breaking pitches over the top of his head and swung at 2 fastballs about neck high. Mizell 3 home runs and 36 RBIs. Looks at a pitch low and outside. Doesn't get away far enough from catcher Luke Hasty for Burris to be on the move, but there's a full count. This full count brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Centered in Sumner County. Go to fullcountministries.com. See all that they are doing for baseball players. Burris on the move, swing and a miss. And I believe they're going to call batter interference as Jace Mizell's swing moved him across home plate and throw down to second base. Doesn't matter as umpire calls batter interference, and that will end the inning for the Pioneers. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After a half an inning, Pioneers 0 and the Trojans coming to bat. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Welcome back to Alexander City, Alabama. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. Pioneers did not score in the top of the first. Cade McKee out on the mound for the Pioneers. He will face Arwin Burgos, Kelvin Ayala, and Bryce Knox here in the top of the or bottom of the first inning. Burgos from Carlos Beltran Baseball Academy, Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. Freshman playing center field here for the Trojans. And the first pitch grounded out to Matt Hall. 2 hops, throws over to Godsey. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the second baseman, number 19, Kelvin Ayala. Number 19.
Kelvin Ayala playing second base, will bat second. Ayala also from Puerto Rico. Escuela. Baseball school. He tries to bunt, ball's out, and to the pitcher. He didn't know where that ball went, but young Cade McKee knew right where it was, hopped off that mound. 2 pitches, 2 outs for McKee. Excellent start. And here's something, if you could go to Vegas, you could bet on right here. If Bryce Knox swings at this pitch, he'll be kicked off the team. You cannot swing at the 3rd pitch of the inning, and he doesn't. Somebody taught that young man how to play baseball. Saw it one time last year, a 3-pitch inning. Couldn't tell you if I'd ever seen it before, but it was so amazing that you don't forget that one. Nathan Rhodes was on the mound. Breaking pitch down in the dirt as McKee has now gone 3 balls, no strikes. After getting the first 2 batters out on 1 pitch. There's a 3-0 pitch on the inside corner, called strike. On deck, the pitcher, Bryce Calloway. On the roster, shows he's an infielder. I guess if you're a pitcher, you're an infielder, as that fastball sails high on Cade McKee, and each pitcher walks a batter in the first inning. Good looking player right here. Looks like they don't have heights and weights on the roster, but he looks to be about 6'3" at least, maybe even taller than that. 6'5". What do you guys got? He's 6'4" plus. Okay. I don't know. He could be every bit of 220. He might even be 230. He's been eating some biscuits since he's been up here. 6'4", 240, is that what you got? Okay, ball 1 to the good-looking pitcher DH, hitting in that cleanup spot. Cade McKee staring right at. There's a ground ball to Vrabel, and he will pick it up, throw over to Godsey to retire Callaway and retire the Trojans. So McKee gives up a walk, but gets a ground out to retire Central Alabama. So no score. We're headed to the top of the second. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Landon Godsey leading off for the Pioneers here in the top of the second inning, facing Bryce Calloway. Godsey, the cleanup hitter from Indianapolis, Indiana, son of Paul and Suzanne Godsey, brother to Nick. Backup catcher a year ago. This year at the first base slot. Coach looking to get his big bat in the lineup on a regular basis, and he sees a pitch on the outside corner for called strike. Godsey, grandparents in Terre Haute, Indiana, and Newcastle, Indiana. Pitch misses just outside. 2 balls and a strike on deck. Carter Vrabel also scheduled. Caleb Hawkins. 3 players from last year's team that had a big impact as Godsey fouls that ball straight back. Landon Godsey, 17 games as a backup catcher, 41 at-bats, had 11 RBIs, hit .366, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, and he gets a ground ball down the third base line. It'll be the first hit of the year for the Pioneers, and he will cruise into second base, slide just to get the uniform dirty, and a leadoff double for Landon Godsey. Got that ground ball just down the third base line past Ethan Hamilton. Zach Johnson, the left fielder, able to get the ball back in, but once it hits that grass, it's not going very far. Very wet, a lot of rain apparently down here over the last couple days, just like it's been up in Middle Tennessee as well. Carter Vrabel stepping to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. He swings at the first pitch, pops this one up in the infield. And first baseman actually in foul territory. Bryce Knox comes over to make the grab. The sensei, Caleb Hawkins, steps to the plate. Also a redshirt sophomore from Smyrna, Tennessee, Stewart's Creek High School. Second year as the starting catcher for Vol State. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Caleb told me he thought his family was going to be here in attendance as well. So it's good to have the Hawkins crew here. Ray and Misty from Smyrna, Tennessee. Grandmother and Bobby in Hendersonville, Granny in Smyrna. And Caleb has siblings Grant, Haley, and Hannah. Hawkins played in 35 games a year ago, hit .299. Look at another breaking pitch that stays up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Godsey down at second base with a leadoff double. Vrabel popped out on the first pitch he saw. Now Hawkins up ahead of Hunter Searcy, who's on deck. Fastball high and away. Hawkins, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs in 2022. 10 doubles. Over half of his hits were extra base hits. Started out his career at Wabash Valley, transferred to Dyersburg State, and now on to Volunteer State. Pitch just down below the knees, says home plate umpire Connor McKenzie. Count goes 3 balls and a strike. Nice bright scoreboard out there. Even on a sunny day, you can see those numbers out there well. Probably not being able to see it on the video feed, but we did add the scoreboard last year in the conference tournament. It's working well. There's the pitch that just a little higher than what Jace Mizell could not lay off, but Caleb Hawkins lays off that one. The second walk of the ball game by Bryce Calloway puts runners now at first and second with one out. And sophomore Hunter Searcy, left fielder for the Pioneers, steps to the plate. 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore from Louisville Eastern High School, Louisville, Kentucky, son of Larry and Dodie Searcy. First pitch he sees is outside the zone. Got in 12 games last year. When he got in, he produced, hit .391. 9 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, 11 RBIs, walked 13 times as well. Had a high on-base average, and he will look at a pitch on the inside corner called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck, Jacob Messer, the designated hitter and the first left-handed hitter, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup for head coach Jim McGuire is down at third base. John Ripel at first base. First-year coach John Ripel. Pitch just too far outside. Searcy looking at a good hitter's count here, 2 balls and a strike. Shade for those who are sitting in the first base stands, center or behind home plate and off to the third base side in the sun. 2-1 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Got a mouse up here in the press box. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Searcy. Godsey at second. Hawkins, so last year's 2 starting and backup catchers on the base paths. And we'll see Hunter Searcy face a full count. Another full count brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Full Count Fall League for high school players in Sumner County area. Admission trips and discipleship groups. Even have one for the Vol State baseball team as the Callaway will do his inside move to move Godsey back to second base, and you only allowed 1 of those per hitter. So if he does it again and he doesn't throw, I think that's a ball on the batter. It's a new rule this year. They've got some new ones. Pitching coach Braden Kale was trying to explain some of that to me. And the pitch, full count, swing and a miss. Big pitch there by Callaway. Second strikeout of the ball game. 2 outs now. And we'll bring to the plate Jacob Messer. Jacob, redshirt sophomore, 3rd year here at Vol State. Looking to have a big year here for the Pioneers. Got in 15 games last year, 20 at-bats. He swings at the first pitch he sees, fouls it off to the left side. Jacob said his dad, Dr. Timothy Messer, might be here in attendance as well. His mother is Dr. Andrea Smith, younger sisters Aubrey and Ella Kate. Papa and Gammy in Walton, Kentucky, and Papa and Mimi in Wynne, Arkansas. Jacob's got a chance to drive in the first run of the 2023 season. Off-speed pitch stays outside. Looks like he's having a little trouble getting that breaking pitch to come across the plate. That's the one that went high twice over Jace Mizell's head, I believe. On deck, number 9, hitter in the lineup, Matt Hall. Hoping for an AB here in the top of the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. It gets by Hasty, and both runners will move up. Don't know if we have an official scorer here. Don't know which one of you guys is running the, are you the official scorer? Okay. Did you call it a pass ball or a wild pitch? Did you? Okay. I always like sitting next to the official score. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Messer. Callaway trying to get out of a jam here with Gotze at third. Hawkins at second with 2 outs. That breaking pitch stays outside. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And we're in the second inning. First big moment of the year. And Jacob Messer trying to deliver. Swing and a miss. Callaway strikes out the last 2 batters to retire the Pioneers in the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Still scoreless here at Alexander City on the campus of Central Alabama Community College. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Cade McKee on the mound to face 5, 6, and 7 in the Trojans lineup. Catcher Luke Hasty, right fielder Zion Morris, and shortstop Hafet Rosado. If you want to email me, let me know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Send an email to treecesports@gmail.com. That's TREECE sports@gmail.com. Just like Delynn Charla, Big J Charla's mom last week, along with Suzanne Gotze, Landon Gotze's mother, sent me an email. First pitch from McKee is outside the zone. Ball 1 to Luke Hasty. He will swing at an off-speed pitch and come up empty. Hasty from Phoenix City, Alabama, sophomore. Swing again at another off-speed pitch. Luke Hasty, 47 games a year ago, 144 at-bats, 48 hits, hit .333 on the year, 3 home runs, 30 RBIs, fouls that one off. McKee pitching from the stretch. Breaking pitch, grounded down to third base. Carter Vrabel will run it on over to Landon Gotze and throw on the run to retire Hasty for out number 1. Back-to-back ground balls to Carter Vrabel down there at third base. Good having him healthy at the beginning of the year. Last year, it was several games into the season before he got his first start. I believe in his first start, he got the game-winning RBI. And it was one of the very first games that I ended up broadcasting. McKee misses just outside to Zion Morris, the right fielder. On deck, Hafet Rosado. Another breaking pitch, swung on and missed. Trojan batters having a little trouble picking up the off-speed pitch from Country Cade McKee, one of the Full Count Ministries discipleship participants. That ball's fouled off. Cade McKee, Cade Sanders, Chase Birdwell, Landon Tucker, and Ethan Huddleston. They meet with me once on a weekly basis. Pitch sails high and outside. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. To center field, Burris back, and he continues to go back and makes the catch on the run. That ball just kept going and going, so it looks like the wind has died down. Just now noticed that the flag in center field is not coming in like it was, so Morris got a hold of that one a little bit more than I had thought. Morris from Central Phoenix High School, Smith Station, Alabama, a sophomore. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Nobody on base. Hafet Rosado, the shortstop. He cannot hold up on a breaking pitch. About hits him in the stomach. Nice break to that. On deck, Zach Johnson. Rosado from Orlando, Florida. Here's a hard hit ground ball to Huddleston, who tried to backhand that one and couldn't get it in the glove, and that will be an E6.
The left fielder. Now batting for Central Alabama Trojans, the left fielder, number 36, Zach Johnson, number 36.
Zach Johnson steps to the plate. He's a bit taller than 6'4" or 6'5". I'm going to go with 6'6" or 6'7". Line drive into the gap, and that will get down. Hunter Searcy will slip. Burris will come up with the ball. The throw in is caught by Carter Vrabel diving toward the fence. As Cade McKee was hustling over to back up the throw, but that will be down for a double. And the first bit of trouble here for Cade McKee. So the first hit of the season for the Trojans goes to left fielder Zach Johnson. And Ethan Hamilton, the number 9 hole hitter, steps to the plate. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Exact situation that the Pioneers had in the top of the 2nd inning. They just happened to have their number 8 hitter at the plate with 2 outs and 2 runners at 2nd and 3rd. Ethan Hamilton from Buxton, Maine, transfer in his sophomore year, sees the first pitch in from McKee, fastball called strike. Cade McKee trying to pick up his fellow 242 buddy Ethan Huddleston by retiring Hamilton, as this inning was prolonged with that error at shortstop. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Got a sharp hook going today. Hamilton now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Mizell out in right, Jake Burris in center, Hunter Searcy in left. And a ball hit out in the outfield's got a better chance than not of getting down with the soggy conditions. 0-2 pitch, just missed. Nice pitch there by McKee. Trying to get Hamilton on a hard to hit fastball in the upper part of the outside of the zone. On deck, leadoff batter Arwin Burgos. Changeup misses outside. Hamilton stays disciplined, does not swing on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on in the bottom of the 2nd. Thank you all for joining us here in a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're playing 2, and McKee wanted that one. That pitch missed just down. Got a base open, but facing the number 9 hitter versus on deck your leadoff batter. Probably not going to groove one, but probably challenge him. And he throws a breaking pitch that Hamilton just gets a piece of. A full count Ministries full count. And there's our first swing on a full count. And we have a foul ball. So 1 for 1 as we start the 2023 season on the full count, first pitch, foul balls. We'll do it again on the just inside the corner for ball 4. Says Connor McKenzie, home plate umpire. Second walk
Alabama Trojans, the center fielder, number 4.
for McKee, and that loads the bases.
Number 4.
2 outs. Arwin Burgos steps to the plate. He grounded out to Matt Hall at second base on the first pitch he saw. Again, if you want to get a hold of the show here, treesports@gmail.com. Breaking pitch misses low and inside. Key having a little trouble spotting the curveball now. Vrabel at third, Huddleston at short, Hall at second, Godsey at first, Caleb Hawkins behind the plate. Line drive down the right field line. It will be foul. On a tailing fastball that Burgos tried to put down that wet right field line. If you get any kind of air on it, the ball probably will hit and stop. Jace Mizell out there in his brand new Nike cleats. As he's going to have a chance at one as that ball is popped up. It looks like it'll go foul, but Jace will give it a go, but it will fall in the grass. I wonder if Jace ever gave any thought of laying out for that one. Couldn't really see where it hit, how close it actually was to him, but if he'd have had a chance at it, I'm sure for his teammate Cade McKee, he would have gotten dirty. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burgos, the center fielder. McKee 2 fastballs outside, and looks like they're going outside again, and they do. And this one will stay in play. Mizell will come in and will make the grab for out number 3. Down go the Trojans. As McKee was able to work out, and Ethan Huddleston will come over and thank his teammate for pulling him out of that jam. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 runners left on base. After 2 innings, no score. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. like Matt Hall steps in for the Pioneers to lead off the top of the third inning, facing Bryce Calloway. Matt Hall, 5'8", 165 pounds. Sophomore from Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School in Lexington, Kentucky, the son of Mark and Tracy Hall, who I'm sure watching us on the big screen in Lexington. First pitch swinging, Matt Hall comes up empty on the fastball by Bryce Calloway. Matt has an older sister, Haley, Grammy in Las Vegas, and Grandpa in Florida as he looks at ball one. Matt Hall came in relief of Ethan Huddleston a year ago when Huddleston went down with an injury. Came in and played a fantastic second base, played in 30 games. Was solid out on the field. So he swings and misses. Hit 242 in his freshman campaign. 10 RBIs, 16 hits, 4 were doubles. Seemed to come up with a clutch hit when needed. Scored 15 runs for Vol State. Fouls that pitch off. Gets out of play. Calloway looks like he's staying away here. Last couple pitches, see if he comes in on Matt Hall on this 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, and goes right down the middle of the plate. That ball's fouled off to the right side. Ball's lifted. A breaking pitch is lifted out to left field. And back goes Zach Johnson, who will make the catch for out number 1. Brings the top of the order back to the plate. Jake Burris, who walked to start the 2023 season for the Pioneers. Jake, a fire science major. Played in 44 games in 2022 and 32 games in 2021. First pitch down low. So he's got 76 games behind him as a Pioneer. Of course, 2021 for junior college purposes does not count as he sees a nice breaking pitch over the plate. Led the team a year ago in at-bats, tied in runs, led the team in hits, doubles, walks, and hit by pitches, along with outfield assists. There's another breaking pitch, catches the inside corner. Burris stepping out of the way of those breaking pitches. They're coming back across the plate. Good 2-strike hitter, though. And he's looking at one right here. Another breaking pitch, misses down low, though. Looks like Hasty is calling his own signals here. I don't see him looking over to the dugout. 2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled straight back to the screen. Calloway challenged him with a high fastball there. Huddleston on deck with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Another breaking pitch. Burris taps foul. I see several of you have checked in, and along with Jake's mom and Dave Holbrook checking in from the Grove up in Grove City. Burris checks his swing. They check down with Doc Glidewell at first base, who says he did not go, and we'll have a Full Count Ministries full count. DeLynn Charla, Jay Charla's mother, checking in. Jake and DeLynn. Watch it in the borough. That's Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Say go Pioneers. And they will be at the next game. And I knew we'd get an email here from Connie McDaniel, Jake's grandmother. And Jake will take another walk, as he is going to try to lead the nation in on-base average.
The shortstop, number 3.
Third walk
Ethan Huddleston.
of the game for Bryce Calloway. Ethan Huddleston steps to the plate. He swung at the first pitch he saw and lined a ball to right fielder Zion Morris, who was able to make the catch. So and he will lay down a bunt down that third base line. That is a beautiful bunt. Fake throw to first base, but Huddleston will get on with a bunt single. Put runners at first and second base for the Pioneers with one out. Bringing to the plate Jace Mizell, who struck out in the top of the first, and his swing carried him across home plate. Resulted in a batter interference call by the home plate umpire as Jake Burris was trying to steal second. Swing and a miss on like a slider. Ended up landing in the dirt. Nice stop by Hasty behind the plate. Keep runners at first and second. On deck, Landon Godsey. So an email from Karen McDaniel. Says Roger and Karen and Ryan McDaniel watching the Pioneers. That would be uncle and aunt and nephew, I guess, or cousin to Jake Burris. Mizell fouls that ball over to the Pioneers dugout. Count goes no balls, 2 strikes. Callaway trying to strike out Mizell again. Not this time, but Mizell gets under this one as he hits one out to shallow center field. Arwin Burgos will get under it and make the grab for out number 2.
The first baseman, number 30, Landon Godsey.
With 2 outs, now Landon Godsey steps to the plate. He doubled down the third base line in the top of the second. But was stranded at third base. Trying to see if he can be the first one to deliver an RBI for the Pioneers. Check swing, foul ball off to the right side. Hello to Brenda and Danny Mizell. Jace, one set of grandparents in Metropolis. Glad to have you all back for year number 2. Look forward to seeing you at the ballpark. And Randy Cale, father of Braden Cale, the pitching coach, has checked in from Baltimore, Maryland. There's a line drive, base hit into right field. That will get down. Zion Morris over to cut it off. Godsey will stay at first, but there it is. The first run scored for the Pioneers. The first RBI goes to Landon Godsey. On the play, Huddleston moves over to third base.
The third baseman, number 10.
And the Pioneers lead 1-0. Landon Godsey, 2 for 2 on the young season. That brings Carter Vrabel to the plate. Swung at the first pitch he saw, popped it up in foul territory to the first baseman. Looks at a breaking pitch, low and inside. Big 2-out RBI by Landon Godsey. Vrabel looking to do the same here in his at-bat. Count goes 2 balls and no strikes with Caleb Hawkins on deck. Got the shin guards on, but hoping to have to take those off to get an AB here in the top of the third inning. There's a hard shot down to third. Hamilton stays down, picks and throws to first base to retire Carter Vrabel. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Pioneers take the lead 1-0 here in Alexander City, Alabama. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Pioneers took the lead 1-0 in the top of the third inning. Cade McKee back out on the mound for the Pioneers. Will face 2, 3, and 4 of the Central Alabama lineup. Kelvin Ayala will lead it off. He popped up back to McKee on a failed bunt attempt on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. McKee pitches from the stretch and delivers. This is down low. Swing and a miss. So the Trojans now trying to get some runners on base, put some pressure on the Pioneers. Pitch missed outside, I believe. 2 balls and a strike. And that breaking pitch gets across to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's all right, boss. We're up here to help each other. Count goes full. This full count brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Jacob Oldham, the executive director of a ministry that's been going since 2010. There's a hard ground ball up the middle. Huddleston will get over, make the throw, but it will get by Godsey and all the way to the fence. Tough play there from Huddleston. Might be an infield single and an error on the throw.
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the first baseman, number 23.
Huddleston tried to
Number 23.
make the throw on the run as his body was moving toward right field, but ended up making a wild throw over to Godsey, but an infield single. Huddleston with his second error will bring Bryce. This is not Bryce Callaway here. I'm sorry, this is Bryce Knox. Got 2 Bryces in a row there. So say this guy's not as tall as the other guy I saw. First pitch to Knox in there for a called strike. That's 2 hits now for the Trojans and 2 errors for the Pioneers. McKee looks back and delivers. There's a hard hit. Line drive caught by Matt Hall, who will flip to Ethan Huddleston for the double play. Just what the doctor ordered. A hard hit ball by Knox, but it found the diving Matt Hall. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 2. Ethan Huddleston thanking his double playmate right there, Matt Hall, to erase the batter and the error that put him on second. 2 outs. Off-speed pitch misses low. Callaway grounded out to Vrabel down at third base to end the first inning. Another off-speed pitch misses low. Two balls, no strikes to the 4-hole hitter, Bryce Callaway from Houston, Texas. He drives one in the left field. That will get down. Hunter Searcy will get it before it gets to the wall, but Callaway will cruise into second base with a 2-out double. Third hit of the contest for the Trojans.
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the catcher, number 12, Luke Hasty, number 12.
Didn't take the runner off of second base there. Took him off and then put him back on. 1-0 Pioneers lead. Central Alabama trying to counter here in the bottom of the third. Luke Hasty steps to the plate. He also grounded out to third base. So 2 hits in the inning. Line drive to Matt Hall that ended up getting 2. There's a ground ball again to Vrabel. Backhand, strong throw to first. Not able to be dug out by Landon Godsey. That was a tough play down there at third base as well. So we will give our official scorekeeper a minute and check to see. What you got for me? Infield single. It had taken a really, really good play to get him. So an infield single puts Hasty at first base. Zion Morris now with runners at first and third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss at a big looping curveball by Cade McKee. So 3 hits in the inning, but no runs scored as of yet. Cade McKee can work his way out, but needs to get Zion Morris. Another breaking pitch stays high. 1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. Morris flew out to center field. His first AB in the second inning. Cade McKee faced 4 batters in the first, 6 in the second. That ball's popped up, but over toward the line goes Mizell, and he will make the grab in foul territory, I believe the home plate umpire said. So that's a long run in less than desirable conditions over there to retire the side. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base after 3 innings. We're scheduled for 7 here in the doubleheader. So 2 7-inning contests. We're through 3 at Central Alabama. It's Pioneers 1, Central Alabama nothing. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Heading to the top of the fourth inning, Pioneers will send up Caleb Hawkins, Hunter Searcy, and Jacob Messer to face Bryce Calloway, who's on for his fourth inning. Both starting pitchers still in the ball game, as only one run scored so far. Had 7 hits as Central Alabama has picked up 4 hits and the Pioneers picked up 3 hits. Caleb Hawkins walked in the third. First pitch he sees is low and to the backstop. Sorry, Hawkins walked in the second inning. Was stranded at second base. Fastball in the outside corner called strike. First game of the year for both teams. 2-game set today and a doubleheader starting at noon Central Time tomorrow. Breaking pitch misses inside. Hawkins starts to take that one in the arm or elbow, but ends up not having to. Hit 3 times a year ago and looks at a called strike there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the starting catcher, very athletic Caleb Hawkins. Hello to Ms. Marcia Rice, who's checked in via email to treesports@gmail.com. Swing and a miss. And inside fastball, and Hawkins goes down swinging. That's the 4th strikeout for Bryce Calloway. Hunter Searcy will step to the plate. Swings and fouls that ball off. I guess I ought to get that out on there. We'll get there, folks. Hopefully on home games I'll have my intern with me on occasion, my lovely wife, who's got a full plate right now as that pitch misses low and in the dirt. Her mother is in the hospital trying to figure out what's happening with her. 77 years old and contemplated stroke, brain cancer, and encephalitis. So we're trying to figure that out. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Searcy. He ducks underneath. Another breaking pitch. And then we are also awaiting the birth of our 6th grandchild. My daughter-in-law is overdue. Ball just barely got the backstop. Stays in where on-deck batter Jacob Messer can snag it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So little Lucy Reese is coming when the good Lord says it's time. 2-2 pitch popped up in the infield. Bryce Calloway backs away and says, somebody else take that. And shortstop Rosado will make the grab for out number 2.
The designated hitter number 5, Jacob Messer.
Jacob Messer from Memphis University School stepping to the plate. Struck out to end the second inning. 2 runners on base, looking to start something here in the top of the 4th with Matt Hall on deck. Fastball overcooked a bit right there, goes in the dirt. +30 of you watching on YouTube. Not sure how many are on the Twitter page, but Ball State Sports Network on YouTube. Glad to have you, whether you're rooting for the Pioneers or the Trojans. Happy to bring the broadcast to family and friends of these baseball players. Put a lot of work in over the fall and the January here to get to this point, as Messer now looking at a 3-ball, no strike count from Bryce Calloway. A fastball right down the can. Messer taking all the way. Head coach Jim McGuire. Third base coach John Ripel down at first. And his fellow first-year coach Braden Kale, pitching coach in the dugout. Be a two-out walk to Jacob Messer. Fourth walk by Callaway will bring the number 9 hole hitter Matt Hall to the plate. He flew out to left field in his first plate appearance. 2 outs, 1 on. Here in the top of the fourth inning. Volunteer State Pioneers versus the Central Alabama Trojans. Ethan Hamilton at third, Huffet Rosado at short, Kelvin Ayalo at second, Bryce Knox at first, Luke Hasty behind the plate. There's a ball driven out to left field again, but Zach Johnson will come in to make the catch on the line drive by Matt Hall, and that will retire the Pioneers. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We're through 3.5, halfway done here on the game 1 of the doubleheader. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Bottom of the fourth we go, 1-0 contest here, game 1 of the season. Huffet Rosado will step to the plate for Central Alabama. They will send 7, 8, and 9 against Country Cade McKee here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Scheduled for 7 here in game 1. First pitch from McKee misses outside. Game 2 typically starts about 30 minutes after game 1 finishes. Have a quick turnaround here on the broadcast. Start a whole new broadcast. That ball's lined out to right field. Mizell is over and makes the grab. Seems like he's moving pretty well out there in the soft and wet outfield area. You can see the brown patch where the Trojan players, I guess it would be, tried to squeegee the water off out there in right field. 1 out, Zach Johnson, who picked up the first base hit for the Trojans today, doubled down the left field line. I don't know if the home plate umpire was ready. When Cade McKee was ready to throw that pitch, he was still adjusting his face mask. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike to the slender left-hander. He taps one foul. Slender left fielder, I shouldn't say left-hander. Haven't seen a left-handed batter yet for Central Alabama. Zach Johnson swings and misses. Cade McKee's first strikeout of the season.
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the third baseman, number 2.
So Ethan Hamilton steps to the plate with 2 outs. He walked to load the bases in the second inning. Our Arwin Burgos was not able to deliver the RBI. McKee trying to retire the side in order for the first time today. Started the game off with 2 pitches and 2 outs, but that pitch fouled off, and it will catch some pine trees before it gets out to the street. See, Noah Eatman, one of the relief pitchers, freshman. There's a ground ball. Vrabel will throw in the dirt. Gotze cannot pull that one out. Carter looks like he just doesn't want to let one go here. And that will be the 3rd error on Vol State.
Burgos, number 4.
Cade McKee just can't get that 1, 2, 3 inning, and that will bring Arwin Burgos to the plate. The leadoff batter, who's 0 for 2, grounded out and flew out. McKee delivers, popped up again out to the right field. We'll see if Mizell can get over. He looks like he's got to play and will make the grab. McKee gets out of the inning with another fly out. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on. After 4 complete, the Pioneers lead 1-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese on the Vol State Sports Network heading back to the Pioneers at the plate to face Bryce Calloway for top of the 5th inning. Back to the top of the order. Just want to say hello to all the other folks that are checking in to watch the broadcast. I saw somebody with the Corbin Overbay family on, I believe that's on Twitter, that's probably watching. So thank you all for joining us. Jake Burris, his 3rd at-bat, sees a fastball apparently nicked the zone high and outside. Jake shook his head like he kind of agreed, or he just didn't want to make the umpire mad. He's in the hole, no balls and a strike. Breaking pitch goes in the dirt. Jake Burris, yet to have an official at-bat here, has walked twice, scored the first run of the 2023 season on the RBI by Landon Gotze. Fouls that pitch off the screen. Ethan Huddleston will retrieve it. Burris down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball down in the dirt. Maybe another little bit of an overthrow there by Bryce Callaway. Callaway struck out 4 and has walked 4 so far, giving up 3 hits, 1 run. Fastball on the outside corner, says home plate umpire Connor McKenzie. I don't believe Jake Burris was going to shake his head. Yes, I believe that one is correct. First backwards K of the day for Bryce Callaway. Ethan Huddleston steps to the plate. He had a bunt single in the third, lined out to right field in the first. Fastball misses outside. Huddleston, a 4-time full count fall league high school champion. Bit of a check swing there. He and a young man, Cade Sanders, on this Vol State program played in I believe, Zach Zimmerly, freshman, also played in the full count fall league while they played high school baseball in Sumner County. Huddleston played at Gallatin High School, and both Cade Sanders and Zach Zimmerly played at Hendersonville High School, played in the fall league that was the full count Ministries High School League. Huddleston looks at ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. And Ethan Huddleston played for Team Reese 2016 through 2019, and along with his brother Noah, who's standing here behind home plate. They won that 2016 championship, and Huddleston will look at like an off-speed pitch, maybe a changeup in there for called strike. Either that or it was a get-me-over fastball. But nicely placed, and Huddleston did not go for it. So we'll have a full count, Ministries full count. Swing and a miss. That pitcher is just even a little bit farther in, but Huddleston had to take a hack at that, and the best he could hope for was maybe to get a barrel, to get a handle on that and foul it off, but he could not get the bat on it. And Jace Mizell steps to the plate with 2 outs. He's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Mizell struck out and flew out. On deck, Landon Godsey, who's 2 for 2. Breaking pitch. Misses down low. So look at the Trojans roster. Looks like 1 Tennessee player on the roster. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Right-handed pitcher from Clarksville, Tennessee, Anthony Patterson, a sophomore. Looks like he's a homeschool player. There's a rocket down to third base. Takes a hop right over Hamilton's glove, who thought he was going to field that just off to his left. But a hard shot by Jace Mizell. I'm going to go base hit on that one. Is that correct? There we go. Solidly hit there by Jace Mizell, and he will be on first base with a 2-out single. Brings Landon Godsey to the plate. Right now tied for the lead, or maybe in the lead, for highest batting average in all of junior college baseball. Great way to start a day. 2 for 2. Breaking pitch into dirt, blocked by Hasty. Keeps Mizell at first. On deck, Carter Vrabel. Wind has died down. The flag center field is just laying on the pole as that fastball is called strike on the inside corner. You watch junior college baseball for very long, you'll see for the most part that 17-inch plate turns into about a 21-inch plate on a regular basis, if not bigger. If you're a batter, you better be ready to go up there and hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mizell done at first. 1-0 pitcher's duel here. Game 1 of the doubleheader, scheduled for 7 innings. Throw over to first. Mizell looked surprised that that ball came his way instead of toward home plate. Again, thank you for those who checked in via email at treecesports@gmail.com. TREECE sports@gmail. You want to let me know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for? Join the broadcast. I'll try to give you a shout out. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Landon Godsey from Indianapolis, Indiana. Runner goes. The ball's lifted out to right field. Should be an easy play for Zion Morris, and he makes the grab for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base.
We're through 4.5. Still 1-0. The Pioneers lead. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reeves back in Alexander City, Alabama, where the Pioneers starting off the 2023 season on the road. Came down yesterday on the bus, stayed at a Hampton Inn and stop in Coleman, Alabama. Applebee's, nice meal there, and they treated the team well. Cade McKee on the mound for inning number 5, and he will face Kelvin Ayala. First pitch misses outside. Kelvin 1 for 2. Popped out on a bunt and then had an infield single up the middle, just right past McKee's feet out there. I believe that was a 3-2 pitch. Now to Ayala. Apparently missed just a little low. McKee goes 3 balls, no strikes. I believe the only time he did that was on Bryce Knox after he got the first 2 outs on 2 pitches, and he gets a 4-pitch walk right there. I wonder if that will
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans.
Start somebody warming up down there in that bullpen, and I do see some movement down there now. 3rd walk of the ball game by McKee. That brings Bryce Knox to the plate. He had a line drive to Matt Hall in his last plate appearance with a man at second base. A 4-6 line out double play as Matt Hall starts creeping up now, and there's a bunt right back to McKee. He will go to first base, throw the ball low, but Godsey will get it around the shoe tops. And the sacrifice bunt by Knox moves Ayala down to second base.
The pitcher and designated hitter, number 28, Bryce Callaway.
puts a tying run at second base. John Ripel out of the Vol State dugout, moving outfielders around. Galloway had a double down the left field line. His last time up was stranded at third base. 1 for 2 on the day. He checks the runner at second. Delivers a pitch, hits outside. Got a base open, probably wise to pitch carefully to Bryce Callaway with Luke Hasty on deck. There's a ground ball that'll get into left field. Cersei charges, they hold the runner up at third base. And the Trojans, first 2 batters reach.
Luke Hasty, number 28. Check that, number 12.
So a walk, a sac bunt, and a single in the left field put runners at first and third. Luke Hasty, 1 for 2. Steps to the plate, and time is called as Braden Kale, the pitching coach, first-year pitching coach for a Volunteer State, will come out to talk to Cade McKee. Braden Kale, hired in August of this past year after Ross Spurgeon left for Bellarmine after 1 year as the pitching coach for head coach Jim McGuire. Braden Kale was a pitching coach last summer for the Stanton Braves in the Valley Baseball League, was a volunteer assistant at Austin Peay State University, finished his playing career at Charleston Southern University, was at California University of Pennsylvania as a pitcher from 2016 till 2020. Delivered his message to Caden McKee, who's now looking for a ground ball. Ethan Huddleston probably looking for one right here so he can get some more redemption. Start a 6 to 4 to 3 double play is what, and the runner goes. Pitch is taken for a ball inside. No throw. As Callaway swipes second base without a throw. Runners now at second and third. 1-0 count to Luke Hasty with Zion Morris on deck. Break pitch swung on and hit out to left field. Hunter Cersei comes on hard, makes the catch. The runner starts to come, but he will hold up as that ball was hit to shallow left field. So McKee now
batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the right fielder,
with
number
2
1,
outs.
Zion Morris, number 1.
Looking to get out of the jam unscathed. Zion Morris, who's flown out to center field and to right field. Back at the plate with runners in scoring position just as he was in the third inning. McKee comes set and delivers. Off-speed pitch misses outside. If Morris happens to reach, Rosado's on deck. No force at second or third. So infield has to go to first on a ground ball. Breaking pitch blocked nicely by Hawkins. Again, a base open. So McKee not wanting to get too much in the kitchen of Zion Morris. Two-0 breaking pitch, check swing by Morris, but I believe the pitch was called a strike. Nice nibble right there on the outside corner. Zion Morris, 21 games a year ago, 27 at-bats, 4 hits. Breaking pitch, the line down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, and it is just foul. Morris has been flirting with that right field line. A couple at-bats here. Right before he flew out to Mizell in right field in the third inning, he probably hit about 3 foul balls down that right field line that just kept coming closer and closer into fair territory. Mizell playing him straight up over there. I might be shading a little more toward the line if I was Jace, but a 2-2 pitch just missed. I thought Morris might go after that pitch. Nice breaking pitch blocked by Hawkins. If it had stayed up there, Morris would have been looking. But full count, brought to you by Full Count Ministries. Director of Baseball Operations, Josh Carmen, is assistant coach over at Trevecca. Full count right down the can. And Morris, for some reason, looked at that pitch. He is arguing still with the home plate umpire. He must have thought that was high, but it appeared as though there have been pitches called a strike. So a big time for Caden McKee to get his second strikeout of the ball game and keep this a 1-0 ball game. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We're through 5 innings scheduled for 7. 1-0 Pioneers. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Trojans of Central Alabama. Right-hander from Greenville, Alabama, Ford-Dale Academy, sophomore Davis Gaston on in relief of Bryce Calloway, who will stay as the designated hitter for the Trojans. Davis Gaston, 12 appearances a year ago, no starts, 0-2 record with 1 save. He will come here in a 1-0 contest, and he will face Carter Vrabel. First pitch that Vrabel sees is strike 1. Vrabel 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the year. Callaway went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, a run, it was earned, walked 4, struck out 6. Did not hit a batter. Slider misses outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gaston through 16 innings a year ago, gave up 18 hits, 13 earned runs. There's a long drive to left field by Vrabel. Back goes Johnson, and he will make the grab. Vrabel just didn't get all of that one, but hit it hard.
Caleb Hawkins.
That brings up the new pilot, Caleb Hawkins. Just received his pilot's license. Oh for 1 with a walk. He swings at the first pitch he sees, fouls that one down the right field line. So no change in the field for the Trojans other than a new pitcher. Zach Johnson in left, Arwin Burgos in center, Zion Morris in right. Fastball right down the gut for Caleb Hawkins. Not sure what he was expecting there, but apparently not a fastball down the middle. Ethan Hamilton at third, Hafet Rosado at short, Kelvin Ayalo at second, Bryce Knox at first, and Luke Hasty behind the plate. Swing and a miss on an unhittable pitch. And Hawkins goes down for out number 2. Davis Gaston tires the first 2 batters that he faces. Hunter Searcy comes to the plate, strikeout and a pop out. Looks at a fastball in there for a called strike. Gaston coming in and throwing strikes for Central Alabama. On deck, Jacob Messer. I guess by the middle of the year, I'll quit calling him Mercer. Ball and a strike. The young man, sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky. Swinging to drive out to center field. Back goes Burgos, and he will make the catch after hitting his knees. And then will lay down after the ball gets in his glove. So 3 up, 3 down for the Pioneers. I believe that's the first time that either team has gone down 1, 2, 3. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0. The Pioneers still lead. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Calls on Landon Tucker, sophomore from LaGrange, Georgia. Told me he would have quite a number of family and friends that are in town. He said he's about an hour and a half away here in Alexander City, Alabama. 5'9", 165-pound sophomore, criminal justice major, son of Hank and Christy Tucker, brother to Dylan and Tinley. Has a Nana in LaGrange, Georgia, and a papa and a Gigi in LaGrange as well. 11 appearances a year ago, 2-1 record, all in relief. 1 save, 15 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts in those 15 innings. On for a save situation here in the bottom of the 6th inning, scheduled for 7 innings. We'll face 7, 8, and 9. First pitch in there for a called strike. Sidearm delivery from Landon Tucker, another 242 group member. Enjoy getting to know Landon Tucker, and he will plunk the first batter that he faces on the second pitch.
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the left fielder,
That
number
breaking
46,
ball started just a little bit too far out.
Number 36.
And Zach Johnson will step to the plate. With nobody out, runner on, we'll see if they employ the same strategy with a sacrifice bunt that they did with the 3-hole hitter. You would expect that they would with the 8-hole hitter. He squares around a bunt and a breaking pitch. Misses, throw down to first base by Hawkins, not in time. Nearly a strike. Kind of surprised he didn't offer it that. Curveball's typically a decent pitch to bunt. Zach Johnson 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout. Fastball misses high and away, or misses actually not high to him, but away. All right, how tall is Zach Johnson?
He's 6'4", he's twin.
Your twin. Look at there, we got twins here. Zach and Mac, right?
I'm Matt.
You're Matt. Oh, it's close. 2-0. And he had to bunt that or get hit by it right in the chest. And he fouls it off. Fastball that was coming back to him. Squared all 3 pitches. His coach is waiting for Rosado to get back to first base to deliver the signs. So Zach Johnson up there to do a job, throw over to first base. Johnson did not give it up there. He didn't square, so 2-1 pitch. He could be swinging away. We could have a hit and run going right here. And he's not squaring away. He swings and fouls that ball off the screen. But the runner was not going. But I tell you, the way coach is giving the signs down there, I believe he missed a sign right there. He appears to be frustrated. Don't know why you'd be swinging at that. Another throw over to first base. Not in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 6th, the Pioneers holding on to a slim 1-0 lead. Scored that run in the 3rd inning on a 2-out single by Landon Godsey that drove in Jake Burris, who had drawn a 1-out walk. Ethan Huddleston then bunted. A base hit. There's a breaking pitch that nearly clips Johnson on the knee and brings us to another full count. Ministries, full count. Tucker going to have to put one in close to the plate here. There's a ground ball up the middle. Tucker snares it, throws to second. The throw brings Huddleston back toward third base side, and Huddleston just steps on the base and will take the 1 out and not try to make the throw to first base. I think that's a wise decision.
Number 2.
So fielder's choice, 1-6, retires Rosado at second base. And Johnson swaps places. He's down at first with Ethan Hamilton coming to the plate. Swings and drives one out to left field. Cersei will get over and back and make the catch for out number 2. So first pitch swinging Ethan Hamilton, first time he's retired. Brings up the top of the order, Arwin Burgos. 2 outs and a runner at first. Burgos 0 for 3, ground out and 2 flyouts. Central Alabama trying to tie this game up. Breaking pitch by Tucker misses outside. Hello to Mark Hall. Mark and Tracy Hall checking in. Thank you for the kind comments, and it's great being back. Call these boys the action this year, 2023, as Tucker gets a fastball in there for a called strike. I don't think of Mark and Tracy Hall without thinking of them sitting on their back porch with that big screen TV and watching on a beautiful sunny day. Breaking pitch on the inside corner has Burgos backing off the plate, but strike called. Tucker, 2-strike count now to Burgos with a huge lead over there at first base by Zach Johnson. And he goes, breaking pitch popped up onto the right side. Matt Hall will be over. Jace Mizell will come in and make the grab for the third out. So Tucker wiggles out of that jam after hitting the first batter he faced. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We're going to the 7th, the last inning of Game 1. Pioneers lead 1-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reeves back for the top of the 7th inning. Final inning of Game 1. Pioneers holding on to a slim 1-0 lead. We'll send 8, 9, and 1
Leading off for the Vol State Pioneers
to the plate to face Davis Gaston, who came on in relief in the top of the 6th inning, retired the 3 batters that he faced there. A line out to left field, strikeout, and a line out to center field. Messer, the only left-handed batter in either lineup today, looks at a fastball that missed somewhere. Jacob Messer wearing the number 5 as we start the new year. Wore 20 all of last year and all fall. His practice jersey is number 20, but he and Landon Luderman have made the switch. So Jacob Messer must have, when given the opportunity, said, I think I want number 5, and he will look now at a 3-0 pitch. Messer struck out and walked in his first 2 plate appearances, looking to get on base here in front of Matt Hall, who is on deck. Sees a 3-0 fastball right down the can. Outfielders kind of pinching him toward right center field. Left fielder Johnson playing him straight up. Drives a ball high into the air, but to shallow center field. Arwin Burgos comes in and will make the catch for out number 1. So Messer now over 2. And Matt Hall steps to the plate. The son of Mark and Tracy, looking for his first hit of the 2023 season. He has tested Zach Johnson out in left field twice. Found out that he can catch a ball in the air, and he will square to bunt. Breaking pitch misses everything behind the plate except the backstop. Jake Burris, top of the order on deck. Pioneers 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors. Swinging a pop-up, that'll get out of play. The Trojans, no runs, 5 hits, and they have played errorless baseball. Well pitched games by the starters. Bryce Calloway for the Trojans and Country Cade McKee as Matt Hall swings and misses it. That fastball a little up in the zone. Breaking pitch misses low and outside. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's trying to test Johnson again, but this may not get out to him. So, yeah, he will. Johnson will come in and say, that's my man. I'm going to make the catch for every one of his batted balls. And left fielder comes in and makes the catch right behind the shortstop, Rosado. Jake Burris with 2 outs. Trying to get on base, be the first runner against Davis Gaston. He takes a hack and fouls that one off the catcher's mask, I believe. Home plate umpire Connor McKenzie checks on him and takes a little stroll out there the mound to deliver the new baseball. But Hasty's tough. That's why he's wearing that gear. I guess he'd be tougher if he wouldn't wear it, but then somebody'd have to check his mental stability. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Burris. Ethan Huddleston on deck. Clouds have come in here. They're not as bright out as Burris swings and misses. 7 strikeouts so far for the Pioneers batters. Trojans have only gone down twice. Fastball, Burris. Burris says that's probably pretty close to the one he got rung up on last time. He went down looking in the 5th on a call that he didn't agree with. And sounds like maybe some players or folks over in the Central Alabama dugout thought that might have been strike 3. And that one's about chin high and brings us to a Full Count Ministries full count. Unofficial results so far, the full count first pitch foul balls, 1 for 4. If he swings, 50% of the time he fouls it off, and he won't need to swing. That'll be his 3rd walk of the ball game and a 2-out walk. First batter to reach against Davis Gaston. Brings it to plate the shortstop, Ethan Huddleston. Has a bunt single in 3 at-bats, 1 for 3 on the day. Looking to get on base and give Jace Mizell a chance to swing the stick. Fastball high and away. Gaston retired the first 5 that he faced. But let Jake Burris slip away on a full count pitch as he throws over to first, not in time to get Burris. I would guess we'll probably see Jake Burris attempt to swipe a few more bags this year than he did last year, only 5 attempts. Swinging a drive out to right field, that chases back Zion Morris, but he turns around and ends up making a catch about knee high for out number 3. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. And we will go to the bottom of the 7th. The Pioneers need 3 outs without giving up a run to take game 1 of the season. Pioneers lead 1-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network.
Leading off your Central Alabama Trojans. The second baseman, number 19.
Landon Tucker back out on the hill for the Pioneers, looking to nail down the first win of the season for the Pioneers and get a save in his first save opportunity here in 2023. I believe his only save came in his only, I think it was his first collegiate appearance last year. We have a switch hitter. I didn't realize that Kelvin Ayala was a switch hitter, but first time facing a right-hander. Takes a first pitch inside. And now goes 2 balls and no strikes on Ayala, who is 1 for 2. Infield single. Also reached on a walk. Looking to get on base here as the tying run for Central Alabama. On deck, 3-hole hitter Bryce Knox. Ayala 2 1-pitch swings and misses. Took a healthy cut at that one. Ayala, one of the couple players from Puerto Rico. Tuck misses with fastball that tails out. We'll go to a full count. Ministries full count. And Tuck will walk the leadoff batter. His first walk. He hit the first batter that he faced this year last inning, but was able to get out of the jam. Bryce Knox, we'll see if he's squaring around the bunt this time like he did in the 5th inning, and he is squaring around. Movement, and that pitch hits him in the helmet. So the second hit batter by Landon Tucker, that should draw a visit from Braden Kale. It is very likely that it may draw a new pitcher, as there is action in the bullpen, and that is another member of the 242 group, Chase Birdwell, hard throwing right-hander down in the Pioneer bullpen. So a walk on a 3-2 pitch, and then the first pitch that he threw to Bryce Knox as Knox was squaring around. I'm not sure if squaring around caused a lack of focus for Landon Tucker or not, but he threw that ball, just glanced off of the helmet. So Bryce Calloway, who started this game on the mound, also as the designated hitter, will step to the plate. He is 2 for 3. All right, so head coach is at first base, right? So Larry Thomas, head coach at first base, and Slayton trying to get, there we go, Chad Slayton, third base coach. Landon Tucker stays in the ball game. Don't believe we'll see Bryce Callaway squaring around a bunt. And there's a breaking pitch that missed somewhere. I have no idea where that pitch missed. It's definitely over the plate where he's called strikes before. He must have called that one high. Ball gets away from the bullpen, and John Ripel will step out. But the action is not stopped. Fastball misses high. Tucker getting into a tough spot here, getting behind Callaway, who has 2 of the 5 hits collected by the Trojans. Breaking pitch misses low. 3-0 pitch coming to Bryce Callaway, the 4-hole hitter for Central Alabama. Luke Hasty on deck. Definitely don't want to give any more free bases. That fastball right down the middle of the plate. Don't believe you'll see Bryce Callaway taking that pitch again on a 3-1 count. He might come out of those shoes. Tucker looks back at second, but he's not concerned about him, and then the pitch is down. So Central Alabama has the bases loaded without a benefit of a base hit. So a leadoff walk, a hit by pitch, and another walk has now loaded the bases with nobody out. Luke Hasty, and that will be the end of the day for Landon Tucker, and on will come Chase Birdwell. We'll take a break. Tell you about Chase Birdwell when we return. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. A sticky situation for Chase Birdwell, 6', 200-pound right-hander, redshirt sophomore from Lebanon, Tennessee. Attended Lebanon High School. Son of Deanna and Troy Rogers. His sisters Riley, Reese, Raylan, and Mackenzie. Nana and Gandy in Gallatin, Tennessee, and Gigi and Paul in Lebanon, Tennessee. Third-year player for the Pioneers. This year a pitcher only, got a couple at-bats in 2022, actually 20 at-bats. But he is on with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Game scheduled for 7 innings, so winning run right now at second base, tying run at first. Luke Hasty, catcher at the plate. And the first pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Caleb Hall. A software problem happening. Not sure why that happens, but apologize. Timeout called by Caleb Hawkins at the plate. Luke Hasty 1 for 3. A single in the third. Looking to be the hero here for Central Alabama in game one. Fastball popped up. That'll be shallow right field. Mizell will come in and will make the catch. Throw to the cutoff man. Godsey will leap for that cutoff. So Chase Birdwell 1/3 of the way
Now batting for your Central Alabama Trojans, the right fielder
toward finishing the job.
Zion Morris, number 1.
So Zion Morris steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a backward K. Wouldn't be surprised to see something a little bit different here. Might, if he handles the bat well, you could see a safety squeeze. Breaking pitch misses down low. Just to get the game tied. And Zion Morris, the right fielder. So a double play situation with short and second at double play depth, as that ball fouled back off the pole, and my summer broadcast partner Zach Williams would say, and another angel gets his wings. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. So corners are playing in. Godsey is in it out at the grass, as well as Carter Vrabel at third. They get a ground ball. They're coming home, and a swing and a miss on a big breaker by Birdwell has Morris down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Williams adjusts his batting gloves after stepping out of the box. Looks like he probably runs pretty well, so double play balls in the middle is going to have to be fairly quick. Fastball just nabbed by Caleb Hawkins. If that glove had been 1/4 of an inch shorter, that ball would have tipped off of it. He barely got that arm out there in the outside to snag that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Birdwell looked like he was trying to stomp on a fastball right there. Overhand breaking pitch, missed. Nowhere. I have no idea. But we're going to a full count. Ministry's full count. Nowhere to put him. Birdwell probably going to have to challenge Morris here. I'm going to guess he's going to go fastball and say, here's my best. See what you can do with it. That's exactly what I'd do. You definitely don't want to walk in the tying run. 1 out, bases loaded. Fastball swung on and missed. Ball was dropped by Hawkins, but he just tags Morris. That doesn't matter. He's out with less than 2 outs anyway. So that puts 2 outs on the board. Birdwell's first strikeout. So not a full count first pitch foul ball, but second out. Pioneers trying to get this win here in game one. Bases loaded, nobody out, as Birdwell apparently missed again with that that curveball. I'm not sure where those pitches are at this point. I've seen those called strikes, so. But it doesn't matter the opinion of anybody in the press box or in the dugout. There's one man's opinion that matters, and he called it a ball. Hafet Rosado sees one. There's a ground ball to Matt Hall. He picks and throws over to first base, and Chase Birdwell comes in and does the job for the Pioneers. came in with bases loaded
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your ball game final score.
and nobody out,
Central Alabama 0.
and able
Final
to
line scores. The only run scored in the game was in the third inning.
retire the 3 batters that he faces
They finished with 1 run,
to
3 errors.
get the save
Central Alabama,
and
5
get the win for the Pioneers. And Landon Tucker, probably the first one out there to congratulate him. Cade McKee will get the win. He'll go to 1-0 on the season. Bryce Calloway will take the loss, and he will go to 0-1. And the save will go, a hard-earned save, to Chase Birdwell. And the Pioneers will take game 1 of the doubleheader 1-0. Sure didn't think that would be a pitcher's duel like it was, but 1-0 is now the Pioneers will get the win. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Alabama. 1 run on 4 hits, 3 errors. Pioneers left 6 runners on base, and Central Alabama left 13 runners on base. I knew it was a lot, I just didn't know how many it was. 13 runners left on base. So we'll be back in probably 25 minutes, just enough time to let me get some lineups and maybe choke something down to eat, but we will start a brand new broadcast. Thank you for joining us here for Game 1 as the Pioneers squeak out of a win here against Central Alabama. Game 2 will start in 30 minutes. You've been listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Please join us again for Game 2 of the doubleheader coming up.